There's two types of people I feel sorry for. The first type are people that were born in a city and never see nature. And the second type is people that were born in a rural area and never see a big city. Both have so much to offer. And for me, I grew up in a city, so for me, nature is still, will probably always be more novel than city life. And nature has so much wisdom to offer. I think as humans, especially people that are living in cities, which is most of us, our nervous systems are so overactivated all the time. And stillness is really hard to find. And that's what you get out here in nature. So for those of you guys who've been following my content for a little while, you know that one of my cornerstone habits is a solo retreat every 6 months or so. I like to come out of nature where it's nice and quiet, where I can think through whatever it is I need to think through. Right now I'm in a trail in British Columbia, North Vancouver. There's a ocean fjord behind me, which is like a sliver of ocean that goes inland. And these solo retreats give me the opportunity to work on my life. There's that saying of it's important to work on your business, not just in your business. And it's the same thing for your life. It's even more important for your life. Most people are so caught up in the day-to-day of their lives, they never consciously decide which way to move, how to live their life, how to design their life. And this idea of lifestyle design is one of the main reasons I started a business. I mean, today I work for about 3 hours. I have a cabin here with excellent Wi-Fi. Was able to get all my client work done, did a coaching call with one of my students, and now I get to walk around, explore the nature, set goals for the rest of the year. Just a couple weeks ago, I was at a conference in Florida. Before that, I was living in Medellin, Colombia. And one of the keys that unlocks all that freedom is working online with a remote business. And that's why I'm so passionate about this YouTube channel, creating content for people that want this level of freedom in their life. It is incomprehensible comparing my life now to the way I lived 8 years ago when I was working at a large financial institution, working 8 to 10 hour days, had no freedom, had to request vacation time like 4 weeks in advance. And then there were certain times of the year that were blocked off or I wasn't allowed to take vacation. And even the idea of vacation, in my mind, is such an unhealthy one. This idea that you have a life that you need a break from all the time because you don't fundamentally like what you're doing. Really, you should build a life where you don't need a vacation from it. Or at the very least, organize it so that you have mini vacations every 1, 2, or 3 months. I remember one of the OG books in freedom and lifestyle design was The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And in that book, he was young, like in his 30s. I believe he was in Argentina, like doing tango competitions with his girlfriend at the time. He had I believe a supplement business that was just chugging away on the internet. And when that book came out, it was such a new concept to people. People almost didn't believe it. It was like blowing people's mind, the idea of hiring people from other countries, taking advantage of currency arbitrage, and building this life of freedom for yourself. Whereas now YouTube is filled with various influencers talking about this. And for me, one of the most important pieces of it is you get the opportunity to live a different life than your starting zone. I used to play video games, and in many games you'd have this starting zone where you start out, there's a certain aesthetic to the scenery, maybe it's in a city, maybe it's in the country, whatever. And then the whole fun of the game is exploring all the other zones and seeing which one you want to hang out in more. And life is actually like that. But for most people get stuck in their starting zone. So some of the videos on this channel that I make are about tactics, are about how to close your first client, build an agency like I did. But a lot of videos too are just about documenting my journey. Like this one, for example, out here in the beautiful forest in Canada, which is where I'm from. And another thing I noticed is that if you don't see a lot of the world, you don't actually appreciate where you're from as much either. Like I find I've been back in Canada for a couple of weeks and I appreciate it more than ever. That's because I spent time away, and just going on a vacation to Europe for a week or two that's not going to do it for you. You need to experience the freedom of really being able to choose where you live. And getting in touch with your why, for why do you want to start a business? Why do you want to build a life of freedom for yourself? Because the how is actually very easy. There's so many free YouTube videos, courses that'll tell you how to start whatever business model you want. But what holds most people back is they don't have enough leverage over themselves to do the work they need to do. And if your desire for comfort is bigger than your desire for freedom, then honestly, being an entrepreneur probably isn't for you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I believe it was Rockefeller that said there's two types of people. There's workers and free thinkers. And this is a character disposition that most people have or you don't have. And for a free thinker, the idea of working as part of someone else's plan is unbearable. And for a worker, it's actually very comfortable. I was talking with a friend the other day about, is this entrepreneur gene, this desire for freedom above all else, is that nature or nurture? Is that something you're born with, or is that something you cultivate? And he actually believed to a large degree it was something you're born with. I'm more of the opinion it's something you cultivate, but whatever it is, if you're watching this video right now, there's a high chance you're someone who wants more freedom in your life and to live a life of complete freedom where you don't answer to any other man or woman other than yourself. It's like 100 years ago, America was the promised land. People from all over the world, India, Africa, even Europe, had this dream of coming to America and living the American dream. And I feel like the new American dream is the dream of building your own business and having a truly global mindset and unlocking the whole world for yourself. This is what the American dream was 100 years ago. And the pursuit of this dream has really been the North Star for me in my life for over 8 years now. And it's not to say I don't have commitments in my life. I have very serious commitments, but the key difference is all of them are carefully chosen by me. That's it for today, guys. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'll see you later.